If you've ever been to a campground or driven through a national park, you've probably seen shiny aluminum teardrop trailers dotted throughout the sea of otherwise brown and white fiberglass shelled RVs. These beautiful aluminum hallmarks of classic Americana are from a brand called Airstream. Airstream is like the Apple of trailers. They like to focus on a premium experience with modern design and ease of use. Their target audience is middle to upper class Americans, whether that be an outdoorsy millennial or a retiree who wants to travel the United States in premium comfort and style. Airstream is a brand that many long to own, much like many car enthusiasts long to own a BMW M3 or Porsche 911. But why is Airstream so successful? Why is it that this brand is synonymous with premium outdoor living? And is it worth the hype and the price tag if you don't actually care about the brand name? Well, today we're going to answer those questions. Hello, my friends. My name is Kobe Hunter, and I love learning about the business world and figuring out why some companies succeed and some fail. So for today's video, I've scoured hundreds of pages of 10K filings, read countless pages of market research reports, and watched dozens of reviews to figure out why Airstream is so successful. If you appreciate well-researched videos that dive into the whys of business, consider subscribing and let's jump into why Airstream is so successful. To understand why Airstream is so successful, you first need to understand the lay of the land when it comes to the RV market. There are three companies that control the RV market: Thor Industries, Forest River Inc., and Winnebago Industries. These three firms control around 75% of the RV industry. Thor is the largest with 22,500 employees and a $4.3 billion market cap. Next up is Forest River with 11,000 employees and an unknown market cap because it's owned by Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway. And then Winnebago Industries in third place with 2,850 employees and a $1.7 billion market cap. Thor Industries has brands like Jayco, Tiffin, Thor Motor Coach, Starcraft, Redwood, KZ, Keystone, Highland Ridge, Heartland, Integra, Dutchman, DRV, Cruiser, Crossroads, and of course, Airstream. Airstream is the premium brand jewel in this massive conglomerate's portfolio. Much like how Lamborghini is the jewel of the Volkswagen Group's portfolio, and yes, I know that they technically also own Bugatti, but that's a little too exclusive and expensive for this analogy. The reason why it's important to understand that Airstream is part of a bigger conglomerate is that it explains why Airstream can have all the latest technology while still giving off that old school, built by hand by a small company in America vibe. One reason why Airstream can charge a premium for their vehicles is that they implement new technologies in their vehicles several years before other brands in the lineup do. For example, you can now control your Airstream from an app on your phone. Airstream doesn't need to recoup the entire cost of the research and development of the new technology because Thor Industries knows they'll also be able to make money from these services from their other brands as the tech trickles down to those brands over the years. It's kind of like how car companies will debut an all-new self-driving or infotainment feature in their flagship and then let that tech trickle down to its more entry-level vehicles over time. This way, they can recoup the research and development costs over a wider span of years and cars. This trickle-down approach allows Airstream and Thor Industries as a whole to stay ahead of its competitors in research and development. They know that their customers are willing to pay a premium for all these relatively little functionalities. This additional revenue can go into doing future research and development to continue the cycle of them being ahead or be put into more marketing. Neither of their competitors have a similar brand strategy where one brand can have all the top tech features and then let it trickle down to the less premium brands. This allows Airstream to often be on the cutting edge of tech in RVs. But there's more than just tech that helps Airstream maintain its position in the marketplace. I know you might be thinking that the main reason for their success is that iconic design. And their design is super unique. Unlike pretty much all other campers that are primarily made out of fiberglass, Airstreams are made out of aircraft aluminum that's bonded together with rivets. This aluminum exterior offers two major benefits. The first is that it looks really cool. I mean, compare these two campers. One looks really cool, shiny, sexy, all that stuff, while the other one looks like a utilitarian box that might already be dirty even though it's brand new. The second advantage is that the exterior makes it so that the trailer can last practically forever. Airstream claims that this longevity is due to the trailers being built by hand in Ohio, but despite what Airstream will tell you, the interior will fall apart at pretty much the same rate as any other camper. But that's all pretty easy to fix and repair yourself. What really affects the longevity of a camper trailer is the external shell. Aluminum stands up to the cycling of cold to hot to cold, prolonged exposure to the sun and weather much better than fiberglass does. So while a traditional camper trailer exterior will probably not last you any longer than 15 or 20 years, Airstream claims that aluminum will pretty much last forever. So Airstream says, sure, you're paying a premium now for an Airstream, but it'll last a long time and in the long run it won't be that expensive. Doc Martens have a similar appeal in that the shoes are like $200+, but they last forever. Now I do want to point out that Airstream is correct in that aluminum is much more durable than fiberglass, But there are several people here on YouTube, I'll link to them up here, who have chronicled that old Airstreams still degrade and are definitely not quite as long lasting as Airstream tries to make them out to be. After about 30 years, these things are going to be in need of some serious updates and remodeling. But the fact is that having a lifespan of almost twice the length of a traditional trailer is a pretty big selling point. And the great thing for Airstream about their aluminum design is that it's actually protected by copyright law. You wouldn't be faulted for thinking, if aluminum is so durable and gorgeous, why doesn't Winnebago or some other company start making a similar product and get in on it? Well, it's because you legally can't. When you design something that becomes so connected with your brand that the average consumer associates it with your company, it's considered trade dress. No one else is allowed to use your design, or you could actually sue them. Examples of this include Tiffany's teal boxes, Coca-Cola's glass bottle design, Sonic's drive-in restaurant style, UPS's brown vans, or Louboutin's red bottom shoes. So if a company wanted to take advantage of the durability of aluminum, they would need to do something to differentiate it from Airstream, like maybe paint it a different color. But that might not even be enough to differentiate it enough to satisfy trade dress laws. Due to Airstream's near monopoly on reliable aluminum shelled trailers, they tend to fetch a higher price in the used market, which the brand uses to reinforce its high market position. They say, sure, our trailers may cost 50% more than our comparable competitor, but your trailer won't depreciate as much, and thus, if you do decide to sell it, you won't actually lose as much money. And from my research, this seems to be true. Take the Bambi, for example. The Bambi does depreciate by about 30% in the first couple of years, but after that, the depreciation curve flatlines to around the $40,000 to $45,000 mark. Regardless of the year, much like Ferraris, Lamborghinis, and Aston Martins, there's a certain point with which the brand just doesn't seem to depreciate anymore. So thus far, we've talked about Airstream stands out because of its integration with technology, cool design, durability, and high resale values. But people buy camper trailers to go camping. Does Airstream perform at a level that their price point would suggest? Well, kinda. Due to its sexy design curving all of the edges, its gains in aerodynamic efficiency are countered with less storage room than competitors, and the design also hurts headroom. Although the height at the center of the trailers is on par with their competitors, as you go to either side of the trailer to shower or do anything else, if you're tall, you'll see your headroom fading quite quickly. Airstreams also fall short because their water tanks have about 10% less fresh water and wastewater storage than comparable competitors. When you compare price point to price point rather than trailer length to trailer length, Airstream's utility as a camper at its price point seems to falter even more. For the price of a 20-foot Bambi Airstream, you could get a 27-foot Winnebago Voyage. And when you compare these models, the Voyage gets twice as much space in its freshwater tank, a higher ceiling, more kitchen space, and even a large TV. So although Airstreams do have everything you could possibly need to camp, they are not the ultimate camping machines at any given price point. So why can Airstreams sell so well at such a high markup if other brands outperform them on the camping front? Well, it's partially due to the fact that many consumers don't actually need the full off-grid abilities of a camper. Many RVers just go to an RV campsite and hook it up to power and water. And at that point, it negates those weaknesses that we talked about before, and they probably like that it's smaller and thus gets better fuel economy. So if you're looking for the highest quality camping experience for the most money, Airstream isn't it. But now that you know why Airstream is so successful, do you think they're worth it? Let me know if you'd ever consider buying one in the comments below. And if you guys made it to this part of the video, you've probably enjoyed it thus far. So if you want to see more videos like this, consider subscribing. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.